Well, later today we may see what some will call the greatest moment in sports history and others will condemn as one of the worst. This afternoon, Barry Bonds will get another chance to tie baseball's all-time home run record. But steroids allegations continue to haunt him, with fans jeering at away games and even the sports commissioner often appearing conflicted about just how to handle this big event. With me for insight, Michelle Jordan, reputation consultant specializing in counseling clients in crisis management. Michelle, good morning again to you. And on this topic,
Good morning, Alex.
How would you advise baseball's commissioner? How do you tell him to handle this situation?
Well, you know, the issues of this story isn't going to go away anyway until this record is made, and that's probably going to happen this week. The dilemma here is that as much as Bonds continues to deny it, he's always going to be tainted. At best, it's going to be a footnote at the end of his career, or at worst, his career is going to tank in the same way that Pete Rose's has tanked. And unless the commission really comes through and can make an accusation and nail him on it, there's always going to be this dilemma. That has to be resolved.
Do you think, Michelle, the dislike is about the steroids allegations with Barry Bonds, or is it about his personality and his reputation for not being the friendliest guy out there?
You know, isn't that interesting? I mean, the problem with Bonds, he doesn't really have much of a likability factor, and I think there are going to be, you know, millions of people sort of cheering him on in this great achievement. But there's going to be an equal number who sort of rather wish it had been someone else who had got this record. I mean, you know, it's sort of too bad that Tiger Woods isn't a baseball player. I think everyone would feel really good about it then. But the person, he doesn't have this likability factor. And, you know, I don't know how you create that, but that people don't cut you very much slack when you're short on that.
Well, maybe it's hard to create if it's not genuine. I mean, that may be something right there. But let's talk about the polls.
You are absolutely right on that, Alex.
Yeah.
You can't fake it.
Good. Polls are showing, Michelle, that there is a racial divide among fans about all of this. There's a majority of black fans out there saying that they do support Barry Bonds, a majority of white fans saying they just don't. So does this make it a particularly sensitive issue for baseball, especially at a time when we are seeing fewer and fewer African-American ball players and fans?
Well, you know, it shouldn't. It's another take on the story. It's another way of keeping the story alive. It's certainly another reasonable perspective. But I think that sort of really deflects from it. I mean, I think we've got to be really very careful about staying focused on what this story is and not trying to layer it with nuance after nuance.
Michelle, if you're representing Barry Bonds, what advice do you give him? What do you say to make it better?
Well, you know what? The advice that you have to give Barry Bonds is really on whether or not he is innocent or guilty. And we're going to have to assume that whether or not he is innocent or guilty, he's going to presume his innocence. And in that case, all he can really do is to continue to tell everybody that he's clean. And he can do it with great confidence, presumably that nobody's going to nail him on it. If he is guilty, and if he does get found out, he better have a very, very good excuse when the questions start coming.
And overall, Michelle, we've heard so much about how the steroid scandal may hurt baseball in recent years. But if you look at the ballpark revenue, the attendance, there does not seem to be any real drop-off whatsoever. So in the end, how much do you think the Bonds controversy hurts the game?
It hurts the game in terms of the image, but you know, rather baseball is the great American love, and as long as people can go out and see those bats swinging and eat hot dogs and whatever else it is do, the revenues probably won't suffer that much.
All right, Michelle Jordan, pleasure speaking with you throughout this morning. Come see us again soon.
Indeed, Alex. Thank you very much.